So what I'm going to do in this training session with Yukon and Nissa is I'm going to bring them in the building with me, close the doors, turn the camera on, and then I'm going to let them just wander around in the room a little bit. Not a lot, because I want them to know that when they come in here it is a training session. It's not just a go and investigate all the stuff. So I'll give them a little bit of a look, but I want them to know that when they come in this building, for the most part, it's game on. So I'll give them just a little bit of time, and then I'll get somebody's eyes and I'll mark and reinforce for that. Both dogs will get paid, and hopefully they'll start paying a little bit of attention to me. We'll see how enticing I am. So in any training session, if I reinforce a behavior, I'm likely to get more of it. I'm not always more reinforcing than what they're doing on their own. So that can need to be a balance. After they've been in here just a little bit, I'm going to, in a sneaky fashion, put a harness on Nissa. I hope. I have one semi-fitted, I'm guessing at it, so we'll see. I hope to slip that on her and keep right on moving, and keep right on doing the mark and reinforcers that I was doing before that. I hope to teach them a little more about hand targeting. I hope that she'll move around in here and not be completely annoyed about that. I'll probably put it on and take it off a couple of times. And then depending how she does with that, I will put a long line on her and keep traveling with her. So my intent is to let her know that there's something else hooked to her, but I'm going to let her travel. I'm going to try to let her not really be too aware of that it's there. After she's wandered around a little bit in here, I will let her connect with the end of that and let her experience having her movement be limited by it. And mark and reinforce for eye contact, or I'll use my body to move her or whatever, but I will let her know that that can happen and then move her off of it so that she doesn't feel like I'm taking her choices away from her. So dogs learn to put up with a lot of things. Dogs learn to be on leash and collar. I mean, everybody that has a dog, dogs learn that. What I want to create is I want to turn the harness and the long line into a target. I want them to learn it as a secondary reinforcer. My dogs are not invited to come through a gate unless they're wearing a leash and a harness. When I bring dogs out in the yard on a leash and a harness, we're going on an adventure. They are at the end of a 15-foot rope or whatever, and they're traveling and I'm following them. So they're being brave explorers and I'm following their lead for the most part. So that's an adventure for them. So they learn that the side of the harness and the long line means that they're going to go on an adventure. That's a conditioned response to equipment that used differently would be a conditioned response of concern because of the control being taken away from the dog. So I want to build a positive reinforcement history with this equipment. It's important for all the life of the dog to be able to go out and put a harness on them and a leash or whatever and go to the vet and all that. It's a safety issue for the life of the dog. So in what I'm doing with Nissa today, that's the base, that's the foundation of how she's going to feel about having her movement restricted. And so from the very beginning, I have an opportunity to make it be a sugar high, all about baked chicken, all about me moving and playing with them. Or I can let it be something that is stressful. She, over time, would probably get used to it. Most dogs do. I mean, most people don't train this way with their dogs to start with leashes and harnesses, but I've learned how to do this better than I used to know how to do. So that's my goal with these guys. The training session, I don't think will be more than 10 minutes. I'll take a whole bunch of breaks. You may not see all the breaks necessarily. I'll try to remember to show it to you. Anyway, that's what we're about to do. So I'm going to turn the camera off and go get my dogs.